Hi guys, it's Joe back again. Vape Apology UK, another video. I know I'm posting a lot recently. So it's been 2 days since I tried Temp Control. Check that out on my last video. Tried it with the Heracles Plus tank with the 0.2 ohm nickel coil, and at the time I loved it. I thought it was great. I couldn't believe I could control the temperature. I could get a nice cool vape on certain flavours and a warm vape on others that needed it. It was great. But I've now spent 2 days vaping it, and I'm not impressed. I don't know whether it's just the coil, the nickel coil, but it's just ruined my vaping experience over the last couple of days. I've gone back to the Atlantis V1 because it's a great vape. It's lovely. The main gripe I've got with temperature control is how long it takes to fire. I just don't understand why it needs to take 3, maybe 4 seconds before you can start getting a real hit. I had it at variable different temperatures and it was always the same. It's just not the same hit you get from having it set at 60 watts. It's instant. Whereas I was drawing, and then 3 or 4 seconds in, it was then starting to fill the lungs, which by that point I've already drawn in as much air as my lungs can take, and I'm puffing out piddly clouds. I'm not one for chucking clouds, it doesn't bother me, but that's part of the experience, being able to get a nice big lung hit full of vapor and blowing it out, having nice flavours. Again, that was another thing that was missing, was the flavour. I tried it with multiple different flavours just to make sure I weren't having vapours fatigue, because I do vape a lot of custody flavours, so I've switched up. I went for a lemon, I went for a chocolate, I went for a coffee, I also went for a fruity mix, like a fruit punch, and it was all the same. The flavours were really poor, and I've got to admit, I won't be going back to temperature control, at least not with a nickel coil. I'm going to see if I can get myself some stainless steel or titanium ones for the Heracles Plus and try that. Because like a silly sausage, I threw away my coil that I was using before I put the temperature control one in. So I'm without, unless I can find one somewhere in one of my drawers. Hopefully I can. I'm going to try some other TC devices and tanks in the future, because it's part of the industry. It's one of them things that people like it, people love it, and maybe it's just one bad experience for me. I do genuinely like to give everything a fair review, so I will go back to it again. But that's why I give you this update so quickly, because if anyone just took my word from my first video, I think it was the best thing since sliced bread, and I did think that at the time. But now, after spending a bit of time with it, I can see it's just not for me at this moment in time on that coil. So what can I say? On a lighter note, I don't know if anybody has seen this today, but a few of us on Twitter were talking about it. The House of Commons debated the taxation on e-cigarettes today, and they said no, which is great. A few of us are a bit sceptical. I am sceptical, but I'm hoping that they're going to keep to the word. The next thing that I want to debate, which I have put forward to my own MP, which I advise you all to do if you are serious about keeping the vape fam and everything else going, is about the TPD Article 20, which is the regulations on what we can actually use. So a box mod like this, a regulated one, with a tank like this, will be no more. We will not be allowed to use them. And I would imagine it's going to be like what it's like in most places now. If you're seen with something that's not legal, the police are going to take it off you. And it's a shame that some of the regulations are silly. Like, we can't buy anything over a 10ml bottle of liquid. You don't stop a smoker going into a shop and buying 50 cigarettes, 60 cigarettes if they wanted to. They can do. Obviously, the packets are limited, that's great, but they will not be able to sell us any more than a 10ml bottle in one go. One of the other ones is the size of the tank. We won't be able to get anything over 2ml. And the strength of the nick's different as well. Obviously, they're maximising it at 20 meg nick, and as for most of us, it's not really a problem. I mean, I vape at 3 to 6 nick now, but for them first time smokers that are used to smoking 30, 40 a day, like my mum, that 24 nick helped her come down straight away. She's got off it. She's now down to a 12 or a 6, depending on what mood she's in, and it's really helped her. So again, I know 4mg doesn't seem much when you're talking about it, but for somebody that's been smoking 30, 40 a day for the last 20 years, 30 years even, it's a massive difference. Hopefully they'll continue to debate it in the House of Commons, and hopefully we'll be able to see some great changes on the way vapers are viewed in this country as well. Because at the moment we are sort of seen as saying that smoking's normal again. It's not. I'm not a smoker anymore. Don't do smoke. I don't like smoking. It's bad for me, and I understand that I need to stop. So that's what I've done. I'm not normalising smoking for anybody. If anything, I'm encouraging people to stop. At the height of my smoking, when I've stopped again 8 months ago, I was smoking 30 roll-ups a day. That's what I was doing, because that's what I wanted to smoke. Now I might go through a tank in a day if I'm really hammering it. I'm certainly not putting in things like formaldehyde into my body anymore, or arsenic. They're two big components of cigarettes. Again, I'm not saying that these are 100% safe, because nobody knows yet, but it's a hell of a lot safer than sticking a cigarette down your throat. So, as always, please like, subscribe and comment. I will reply to anything you put on here. Hit me up on Twitter at VapeOrgyUK, and I hope you all have a great evening and vape on.